Hello and welcome to What's for Dinner. I'm Dr. Julie Gilbert from Oregon Weight and Wellness, and with me is Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
Hello.
And we have a special guest today, Gayle Arnsmeyer. And
Good morning.
yeah, and happy spring, everybody! Isn't it so exciting? Yeah. So, Rachel, did you do anything to celebrate March 21st?
Did I do anything to? So, Julie, just really quick, I think when you're closer to Gayle and you're forward facing to the computer, but back
Yes.
next to her,
Okay.
then you're better.
Oh, back next to her. This is
Like
better.
this?
Yeah.
And she's immunized, by the way. So
Yes,
we're
I had
CDC.
both mine.
We're CDC compliant. I just want to let you know.
Perfect. Good. Okay. So the question was, did I do anything to celebrate?
Spring, newness of spring. You were outside. You were Zumba-ing or something.
I have spent some time outside I'm starting to get my garden back. And you guys, I'm so excited. My compost pile is the most gorgeous it's ever been.
Oh.
It's live, it's steaming, it's teeming with worms. It's deep, black, dark, rich. So I'm so excited to plant my garden this summer.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
I was next door with my neighbor she's 90 and she is this beautiful master gardener. And she was starting some cucumbers and tomatoes and zucchini and all kinds of things to for the starts in the hothouse to get ready for the garden. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah.
Do you get to go over and forage in her garden?
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I mean, she shares with me. She's such a dear. She shares with me, and then I get some starts for my garden. So, and then she gives me some stuff from her garden. She's a better gardener than I am. But anyway, at least I'm trying. So, but today we have plants, and Sarah Harvey. Yay, Sarah, welcome. So we have Gayle, and Gayle is sharing her story with us today. So Gayle, go ahead and take it away.
Well, I'm kind of old, so my story's long.
That's awesome.
I was always the heaviest kid in school. Now, granted, I didn't have a large high school, but I was still the heaviest kid in school. On and off diets, yo-yo, up, down. Finally, in my early 30s, I went to Weight Watchers. And it took me a year, but I lost 120 pounds.
Wow, that's significant.
I stayed to the regimen. I exercised every other day. I did all the things I was supposed to do. And then the day I hit my goal weight and the day I was a lifetime member, I went out and tried to eat all the things I hadn't eaten in a year. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I didn't learn anything. Mm-hmm. I learned how to follow a pattern, but I didn't learn anything else. Mm-hmm. So fast forward another 20 years, I put that weight back on, plus more, and I was up to almost 300 pounds on this little 5'2" frame. And I knew I had to do something. I had gastric bypass surgery, and with that, I learned. They gave me a toolbox. I learned about nutrition. I learned the things that will help me. I learned the things that I needed to learn. I thought I had it all. Now we go another 15 years, and I have this 20 pounds that I've put on and taken off and put on and taken off. And now I'm learning something new. I'm learning about whole foods. I'm learning about clean foods. Having lost the weight got me off blood pressure medicine. It got me off GERDs. It got rid of my GERDs. It helped all my joints because I have osteoarthritis in every joint I have. Wow. The thing that I've really learned, and I keep learning, is that weight management's a journey. Mm-hmm. It's not a start here and, oh gosh, I've accomplished it, see you later. Right. It's a journey. And the older I get, the more I learn. And the more I learn, that journey is more and more exciting. It's not just, oh gosh, this will be the rest of my life. It's, wow, what can I learn next? And I'm very, very fortunate to have supportive people around me. And that's kind of my story in a nutshell.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Gail. I picked up on several things, probably too, Rachel, that were never really finished as far as this. That this is a journey, and I'm kind of liking it to the law of entropy. Familiar with the law of entropy, where things don't go from bear with me, this may not apply 100%, but I think it's cool. Things don't go from chaos to order. Things go from order to chaos. So we go along, we're doing the thing, and we stop doing the thing, and we go back. But so what I'm learning is that I have to put energy into what into my health and what I want to how I stay healthy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I love it, that Gail called it a journey because it's exactly what it is. We tend to think of our health and our well-being and our weight specifically as something we accomplish, we get done with, and then we can tick off of the list. And that's just not the case. It's an ongoing journey. And I love that you're embracing the fun and the joy of it, the learning of it, that it's something new. And you know, nutrition and health, it is changing every day. We just keep learning more. So we can't just stop. And
Right.
And I always tell my coaching clients that it's this, you know, this is the spectrum of health, right? And over here is maybe not very healthy, the least healthy we've been.
Right.
And over here is, you know, we tend to think that there's an end game, but I always, when I'm talking to people on Zoom, or I push it out of the screen so you can't see, because there's no where we're going. There's no end, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But we know our beginning.
Right.
And then as we're journaling along, as we're going, we're going this way, is it better than before? But it's better than yesterday, but it's not as good as tomorrow. And it's this constant ongoing. We look that way.
Right. Exactly. And people tend to get frustrated because they think of it as a goal, and then they reach their goal, and then they end of the goal. But and people can get frustrated, maybe because maybe they're not getting to the goal fast enough. However, embracing the process of it and understanding that everything that you're learning along the way, other ways you're getting better. For example, medication, or she doesn't have GERD and her joints
Right.
Measurements apart from the scale are, in my mind, just as important as that scale number itself. So there's so many. It's a broader picture of wellness than just the weight.
And if I may say, we have that beginning point, but that beginning point moves too. And just because this was the beginning point 10 years ago, it doesn't mean that's still your beginning point, and that's okay. It's okay to know that you're not where you were 10 years ago, but you are where you are today.
Yes. Yes. And accepting that, right? Yeah. Accepting exactly where we are, looking back and saying, thank you, past me, for everything you've gotten me through, for everything I am today. And also, we're not going to stay there. We can keep going. We're going to move forward. So thank you. And I'm continuing to write my story. I don't just stop. I don't just stagnate.
Right. Because I'm glad you said that, Rachel, because that kind of brings me back to this point that I was trying to get to. It didn't do so well. Maybe I can do a little bit better. But we have to just continue to put in that energy, that positive energy into our story to move us forward. And so, and that keeps us moving in a kinetic way, rather than this potential energy that's there. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Agreed. And the acceptance piece is that positive, it's a balanced feeling where we can understand the bad and the good and accept both of them. And then that gives us that positivity to be able to move forward and about the next thing.
Right. And I love
Yeah.
what you say all the time, Rachel. You say learn and grow. You say learn and grow. Right.
Trial and learn. Yes.
Trial and learn. That's what you say. Trial
Yes.
and learn. Yeah.
Yes, because if we're just a bunch of scientists running experiments on ourselves, that doesn't feel so personal and so subjective and emotional. It's more like I'm curious about what my body is saying to me, and I'm approaching it as a scientific, growth-minded, open-minded. Experimenting. And so when I experiment with a trial of something and it doesn't work, I don't have to beat myself up. I'm not a failure. It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with the process that I'm on and the journey and the learning. And I'm going to go back and redesign.
Right. And to Gayle's point, and she had to change things. What worked for her at this point in her life may not be what works for her at this point in her life, and that's okay. And but she again, she pointed out she's learning along the way, and the other point that she mentioned is that she needs, I think she said, support, and she appreciated the support. Yeah, and that's what we're here to do at Oregon Weight and Wellness. We're here to give you that support to help you understand maybe what's working for you, what's not working for you, maybe give you some suggestions on how to change it up a bit. And always moving you towards real food, whole food, but specifically what works for you. If you want to get a hold of us, you can reach out to our phone number, 971-273-7143. You can also find us on the web at OregonWeightandWellness.com. Give us a call, send us an email. We'd be happy to talk with you and help you learn how you can move forward on your wellness journey. And anything else you want to add, Gayle?
Nothing I can think of. It's just, it is a journey. And anytime you think, poor me, everybody's got something. That's how I feel. Mine happens to be weight. And every time I want to think about it being negative, I can get down. But gee whiz, that's not where it's at. I mean, I lost that weight before and I put it back on, and now I'm arguing with 10 or 20 pounds, but I've still got 110 that I've still got on.
Right. Exactly.
So, you have to go at it from a positive standpoint, or it's going to beat you, I think, before you ever get started.
Thank you, Gayle. Yeah. So thank you, Gayle, and appreciate your very meaningful. With that, Rachel, what's for dinner?
What's for dinner? Yeah. So dinner is going to be leftovers from last night. My husband made a chunky veggie spaghetti sauce. So it's got, we put every vegetable in our spaghetti. So it's not the typicals. It's like cauliflower and rutabaga, and there's beets in there. And it's just it's like basically a salad, but then you put spaghetti sauce on it. That's kind of how we do it.
Cool. Yeah. And what do you put on? What do you serve that over?
So my husband always makes up some whole wheat pasta noodles. He really likes noodles, and he doesn't struggle as much with his with up and down with weight and things. So it's always whole wheat. Sometimes it's zoodles, like zucchini noodles. And sometimes it's like chickpea noodles. But for me, what I will do is I will serve myself about a quarter of a cup of the noodles. I like a little bit, but not a very small portion. And then I just want then it's just all the veggies in the sauce.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
how about you?
Yes, thank you for asking. I am having fish tonight, and we bought some wild cod. And what I cut that up into probably 2 or 3 inch chunks, and then I did that in a little scrambled egg, and then I put it in an almond flour that I put garlic and paprika in, and so kind of like a granular almond flour, and then I pan fry that in it's either coconut oil or avocado oil, and so, and that's delicious. And then I have some asparagus that I'm just going to roast in the oven, drizzle
Ooh.
with a little olive
Yeah,
oil.
that sounds
Mhm.
good.
So I'm going to have my fish and my asparagus. So,
Yum.
Sounds yummy.
yes. Gail?
I made homemade chicken soup
Mmm.
with lots
Mm.
of carrots and celery and onions
Yeah.
and just a little bit of fettuccine noodles and vegetable stock, organic vegetable stock.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm having for dinner.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
sounds
Well,
comforting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we've come to the end of our time, and I wanted to remind people that we're going to have a special live stream tomorrow evening. Oh gosh, what time is probably going to be? I'm going to say 5:30. And Kate, our medical student, is going to make um, a, a healthy rendition of hamburger helper. I'm going to be on one
Wow.
side making hamburger helper. She's going to be the other side making healthy version of that, and then we're going to compare the two ingredients and cost and things like that. So it's going to be a great time together
That's great.
tomorrow. The 23rd, my son's birthday. Ezekiel. And yeah, it's gonna be a great time. So, all right. Well, until next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.